It says I'm live, but I don't know that. Let me go over here and see if I'm really live or not. Well, it says I am. How you doing, folks? Facebook Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry. And I'm glad you're with me here today. You can see that it's a little different today. My friend Derek Simonis and I have been working today, and we've dolled it up a little bit. And I hope you like what you see, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I hope it's going to work well. I'm going to have him call in just a little bit, and I have to use some earbuds to listen to him. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking of it here, do I need to do that? Let me do this. Yeah, let me try that. Okay. So all of tonight's an experiment. There's absolutely no telling what's going to happen. It may melt down. I may look like a goofball. If that's the case, par for the course. It's every day look like a goofball. So it'll be okay. But and there's going to be as we work on this, there's going to be many more things to come in the hopefully not too distant future. So we'll see. Going to make everything look as good as possible, sound as good as possible, and in the look as good as possible. This is just the beginning. You have no idea what I've got in store. So anyway, a few things to start off with. I always have to do this. Right there. Let me see. I got to get used to this new way of doing things. Buy a hat. Old Time Preachers Quartet. I Sing Myself Happy, which, by the way, I think I may have mentioned it on here yesterday. Boy, thank the Lord for everyone liking that song. Number 16 in the Singing News magazine, number 10 in the Scoops magazine as of yesterday. And wow, that's called a hit. And so we thank the Lord for that. It's just old-fashioned, traditional, quartet sounding song. And, who knew? Who knew folks still liked old-fashioned Southern gospel music? What about that? So go buy a hat. Help us while we're down and not being able to go sing and preach. I think we've worked 2 Sundays in the last over 4 months now. And all of June has canceled. And so it'd be a little bit of a help. We'd appreciate it. If you don't want to, that's fine. God's been good to us, and he's taken care of us. We thank him. And we're working on other things, and it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. Okay, so let me see. Let me see if I can see who's with us. Ansu Butler Fritter Incorporated is with us. Patty, Jamie, Patty, Ansu, Miss Maggie, Andrew Burnett. My wife's watching. What's up, baby Case? Rabbit. Hey, brother. How you like tonight's show, Rabbit? I hope you can stick around. Gene Thorne, Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Danny Tuttle, Tim Gould. Hey, Tim. Oh, boy, we're getting close, brother. We are, let's see, about 8, 12, 13, 14 hours away from liftoff. Got the Gould family in the studio for the next 3 days. I'm going to work them silly. They're not going to like nobody else. Where's the camera at? Is the camera over here? Right there? Yeah, okay, there. We're going to work them silly. But it's going to be good. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to have to work them all that hard because they're just simply good. Strong. Gene Thorne, hey, Red Bay, Brother Marvin Morrow just went off. Went off to where? Patty Graham, I heard I sang myself happy on the morning and afternoon drive time today. Very much a blessing. That's wonderful, Patty. They're playing it all across the country. I don't know. I'm just blown away by it all. God's sure been good to the quartet and me. I don't know. Wow. It's hard to put into words everything. All right, we got a few things here that we want to talk. I've got an unspoken prayer request for a friend right now that needs prayer. Right now. So pray as you're watching the program, as I'm watching as I'm doing the program today. I prayed before the program. I'm going to pray after the program. Pray for my friend. Would you do that? I sure would appreciate that. Also, before I forget this, what's on my mind. If you're a singer and you want to sing with a really good group, they're not full-time, but they're busy part-time. So I mean, like if you want to do some serious singing and they're really good, you need to go get a hold of Tammy Sumner. She works for me. And Faithful Crossings is the name of their group, and they're great. Tammy and Curtis, husband, wife, team there, they're great. I mean, talented, wonderful singers, good people. Just, I mean, everything that you want, man. They're it. Choose great music, great songs, ministry-minded, wonderful. They're just wonderful. So, why don't you email her if you might be interested? They live in Missouri, so you got to be up around Missouri. You can't be flying in and all that stuff. So they're probably need to be in Missouri. So anyway, email her, Tammy, Tammy, at butlermusicgroup.com. Tammy at butlermusicgroup.com. If you want to sing, they probably need like a male lead / tenor, or an alt or a female kind of a lead soprano, I'm thinking. But if you can sing, now if you can't sing, don't bother them, because they're good and they need a good singer. If you're average, don't do it, because they're above average. So go check them out, okay? All right. Derek, if you're watching, try to make it a little bit after 10 after, okay? Maybe make it about 12 to 15 after. Okay, I need you to do this. Call 800-360-5051. Can you do that? Do that like right now. Or no, I always say right now, like I'm on the radio, and then you can listen and not have to watch it. No, wait till after the show tonight. 800-360-5051. 800-360-5051. And I want you to answer this question. Who do you think is going to win the favorite soloist category of this year's Singing News Fan Awards? Is it Mark Bishop, Riley Harrison Clark, Joseph Habedank, Ivan Parker, or David Phelps? Which one is it? Mark Bishop, Riley Harrison Clark, Joseph Habedank, Ivan Parker, or David Phelps? Which one of those five? Call 800-360-5051. Give me your name, where you're calling from, and tell me who you think is going to win. And then I want you to also tell me who you think they missed. Which soloist might they have missed? Mark this down, December 7, 8, and 9, right here. December 7, 8, and 9, right there. We get it right there. There you go. Myself, Old Time Preachers Quartet, Barry Rowland and Deliverance, Bob Sellers, Sacred Harmony, Sherry Taylor, Paul Boland, Chelsea Estes, and Covenant. And we're probably going to add more, assuming we can get out of this coronavirus so people can run around. So the number you want to call for that is 865-278-3681. 865-278-3681. Okay, we're done with all that. So let's go to, we're in the year 2000. Okay, we're back in the September 2013 issue, right there they are, of the Singing News magazine. And it's got to do with the National Quartet Convention, the 20 years in Louisville, Freedom Hall. And we started in 1994 with the pictorials, showing you all the pictures, playing music from the artists in the pictures. And let me show you some of them here. This is 2000, so we're in 2000. Look at there. There's Tony proposing to Taranda Kaiser Green, making her Taranda Green, right there. It was a great moment. I was in there when that was going on. And let's see, here we've got Maurice Templeton of the Singing News and Andrew Ishii just kind of hanging out. Let me see. Where's that at? I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Right there. Check it out. And let's see, next there we got Karen Peck with Danny Jones and Ricky. So to that end, let's play some Karen Peck music to start off the music part of Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry with Les. Here is Karen Peck from her very first, I think this is her very first solo album, Carry Faith. Karen Peck. The House That Love Built.
Early one morning, I tiptoed down the stairs. I looked into the kitchen. They didn't see me standing there. With Daddy's arms around her and a smile on Mama's face, I knew what held them together was more than their embrace. This is the house that love built. Every room is safe and warm. These are the walls that weathered every storm.
My wife loves Karen Peck.
Built on a strong foundation to keep our hearts secure. This is the house that love built. I can hardly believe it, how quickly time has gone. I turn around and find myself with a family of my own.
Karen had her some hair right there.
Lord, I'm so thankful for what
All the
my
ladies had it back there, all
parents
big.
gave to me.
My wife had big hair, but not that big.
Someday my children will see.
Karen Peck.
This is the house that love built. Every room is safe and warm. These are the walls that weathered
Hello, Brenda.
every storm.
Hello, Mike Keller.
Built on a strong foundation to keep our hearts secure. This is the house
Justin McLeod, good to see you.
love built.
James Barber, the Barber family. Some good folks there. Good new records. Honored the producer. And Brian Rumpel. Commerce, Georgia. Randy Griffiths, John Kelly, good to see you.
This is the house that love built.
Hey, Tammy.
Every room is safe and warm. These are the walls that weathered
Hello, John
every
Roberts.
storm. Built on a strong
Hey, Mick Morris. I think we finished your demos today. You're looking for them. Jeremiah Hart, Missouri. Jeremiah, if you wasn't already singing with somebody, you can give them a holler that you can do it. Hey, Daniel Taylor, speaking of Missouri. Daniel, if you sing, you should call Tammy Sumner. House of Love built. That is Karen Peck of Karen Peck at New River. And we are looking at this magazine right here, September of 2013. And there's her picture right there with Danny Jones and her hubby, Ricky. Hey, one of the things I like about this new setup I'm doing tonight, look, you can read all the words. It's not, I don't have to turn my camera around. That's a cool thing. That's a real cool thing. Look at all the people there in Freedom Hall right there. There's like a gazillion. There's a gazillion with a G people in Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, those were good days back then. Very, very good days. All right, let me see if I can get this done right. Old Brother Les, they're trying to teach an old dog some new tricks. And let's just see if they can do it. Let me zap these babies in here. Let me click this right here. And let's see what happens.
Hey, we're here.
Derek, how are you, man?
Hey, my brother, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
And I can hear you like you're right on, like you're stepping on my feet.
Seems like I was just there.
You were just here. So how am I doing so far?
Hey, you're doing great.
I've got
You're doing
everything
great.
up and running right?
Yeah, it looks great. Everything looks fantastic.
Okay.
Looks fantastic. Sounds good. Looks good.
Well, thank you. And you're the reason it's looking good and sounding good. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, this is Derek
Absolutely.
Simonis. Now, Derek lives around just like, let's see, northwest of Nashville, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you are the, let's see, what'd you tell me today? The nephew-in-law of Jonathan Wilburn.
That's right.
I wouldn't
That's
tell
right.
many people that, man.
It's our secret.
Well, listen, last night on the Facebook Live, I did a whole bunch of stuff with Gold City and that album that I showed you, the very
Yes.
first album that he was on with Gold City, and he was telling Tim Riley, giving him the thumbs up to take the job while at my house in Florida, in St. Cloud, and I drove him to Port Canaveral because they were going to a cruise. And then when they got off the cruise, he was going to start working with Gold City. And so he was rehearsing the songs from that album in my car during the Port Canaveral drive. And you know how loud he is, man.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
in my car, oh man, I'm still hearing it. My ears are still ringing. But so you're his nephew-in-law.
Yes, I married his niece. Yes.
So Jana.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Married his niece Jana, Jay's middle daughter.
Okay. So here's the deal. Let's talk about Jonathan. Give me all the dirt. I don't want to know the good. I mean, I already know the good stuff, and I've already talked about the good stuff. Put it on me. Give me the dirt.
Well, he's a loud. He talks just as loud as he sings.
Okay, that's loud.
Yeah.
That's really loud.
I still got to be around him at holidays, though. I mean, anything I say about him comes back to haunt me. So
well, don't get yourself kicked out of the family, but give me something. Give me something more than he's loud, man. We all know that.
Oh man, let's see.
Come on, give me a little something.
Well,
give me something. Give me something that agitates you about him, other than being loud.
He's mama's baby boy. You know that.
Oh, we know that too.
Yeah, buddy. He's a lot of fun to travel with. I'll tell you that. When I was still living out west, I actually drove down I lived in Idaho for 3 years. I drove down to Arizona with him one weekend, and I ferried him around to several different churches where he sang, just the two of us, and we had a big time, man. And he's a lot of fun, good guy, and he's true blue. So think a lot of him.
I tell you what he is. He's not true blue. He's true orange.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
That man is a Rocky Top man if I have ever seen one. And it's funny because he's lived in Alabama now like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
You'd think some Roll Tide or some War Eagle would come out of him every once in a while.
I know, no? and his daughter's a graduate from the University of Alabama. Do you know that?
I did. And so, but he's still Rocky Top, man.
He is, man.
Actually, I like that about him.
Yes, he stayed faithful all these years, and both his kids are still Tennessee fans. So that says something about it. So anyway,
well, I tell you what. Let me tell the folks a little bit about you. I don't know a whole lot, but I know some. I know one thing. You can sing, man. You mentioned is it Iowa or Idaho?
Idaho.
Liberty's from. Okay, Idaho.
Yeah.
You sang with the Liberty Quartet there for a couple of years, and let me tell you what, man. That is a legitimate quartet.
Yes.
Big time.
Good. Yeah.
And so he's a great singer, folks. And so to that end, and a preacher too. So as you're listening, if you need somebody to come in and sing or preach, and I guess you and Jana go and sing together too, don't you?
Yes.
Because I know she sings. She's a great singer.
She is, yes.
So if you want somebody, a little duo singing there, give Derek a holler, or he can preach and sing and do both. And good guy and really talented.
Thank you.
We're working on some things together, and the proof of some of that pudding you're looking at this very moment right there.
Yeah.
So Derek, give the folks some information about like how they can contact you and all that, websites and email and phone number, whatever.
Yes, our website's just SimonisMinistries.com. We have a Facebook page. It's just Derek and Jana Simonis. And of course, we'd love to connect with you through either of those mediums. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch with us. But we love to serve Jesus, and we love to tell others about what he's done in our lives, brother. So that's what it's all about.
So spell Simonis for those of us who have a problem spelling Simonis.
Yeah, it's like Simon is.
Oh, that's good.
Simonis.
I'll remember that.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. So that's it's pretty easy when you think about it that way. So
I asked you, I sent you a text about this is Facebook Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry. And I'm normally the one always doing the ministry on here, but you being a preacher, I got you on. I thought I'd wind you up a little bit. And I haven't played it yet, but when we're done, I'm going to play a couple of songs from the Kingsmen, from Mississippi Live. I'm going to do Amazing Grace and A Place Where the Hungry Are Fed. And I'm doing, isn't that a great song? Yeah. I'm doing especially the Amazing Grace because it's the band singing and the band playing, and they really feature Gary Beaver Dillard, who, as we understand it tonight, is if the Lord doesn't show up, he is soon to see the Lord, and everybody loves Beaver Dillard, man. I mean, I used to. We're about the same age, and as a young musician, I would watch him as a young musician and just watch him just tear it up. And he was there in what I would call the big time with the Kingsmen, especially in those days. Yeah. They were always winning the band of the year and all of that. It was just wonderful. And he's such a wonderful man. And so I'm going to feature him here in just a little bit. But, the sad news is certainly for his family, if the Lord doesn't touch him, they'll be away from him. But the good news is not for long.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what you have on your mind tonight, but now don't take a 3-point and sub-points and all that because I'll yank you off. We don't have all night, but
I am a Baptist, so
that's why I teed it up. Don't do that. But now, what's on your mind? Give us a little bit.
I've just been for the last several days, and I don't think it's a coincidence, but my heart's just been in 1 Thessalonians 4, where Apostle Paul's talking about the second coming of the Lord, and that verse there, where he talks in verse 15, where he talks about verse 13. He said, "I would not have you be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope."
Yeah,
and I've got my mom's in heaven now. She's been in heaven for 5 years. And I know there's been many, it seems like, as we get older, Brother Les, there's many more that seem to cross the line of worlds. And it just heaven continues to get sweeter. And
yes, sir.
Every day. And we don't sorrow as those which have no hope. There's a lot of people out there that are questioning what the meaning to life is and what's beyond this life, but we don't have to question. No. We don't question. We've got a hope beyond the grave, and we know where we're headed, and we know what the meaning of life is. Yeah. And we've got a testimony to share with the world around us. And like that song says, a place where the hungry are fed. And boy, what a day that's going to be. So I'm just looking forward to it. Even as the world around us gets worse and worse and worse, I just get a little more excited every day, even though it gets worse, as I know we're getting closer all the time.
Boy, yeah. When you get my age, you don't get a little more excited. You get a lot more excited. Because even if his coming isn't as soon as I think it's going to be, it's going to be sooner for me than you if you just go through ages and through just normal course of one's typical life.
Sure.
And so trust me, as you get older, it gets sweeter, and the tug for home gets stronger.
Yes.
And so I say amen to that, Derek.
Amen.
Man, good. That's good, brother. I
Praise
appreciate
God.
you doing that. All right. So Derek Simonis, thank you, brother. And,
hey, it's my privilege.
I'm going to see if I can get out of this thing now. I got you in. Let me see if I can get you out. Okay.
All right, brother.
All right. See you, Derek. Bless you, brother.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can do this now. See if I do that right there. And look at there. Voila. You can teach an old dog a new trick. Well, all right. So, as I said about Gary Beaver Dillard, he is on, matter of fact, I'll show you some pictures of Beaver, but he's on this Mississippi Live record. And He does some singing here with the band and an awful lot of playing, and it's good. He plays on this harmonica, at least the harmonica and the banjo, and maybe even something else. But you're going to like this. This is the Kingsman Band singing and playing, and then I'm going to let it go into the next song, which features Arthur Rice 35 years ago with the Kingsmen. And he's going to sing A Place Where the Hungry Are Fed. This is good stuff. But first, the band featuring Beaver Dillard.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Right there's Beaver.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
That's him on the dobro.
Was grace that calmed my heart,
Beaver right here.
and grace my fears relieved. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils,
That's
and
Berger on the
strife,
piano.
I have already come.
That's Beaver singing.
Was grace that brought me
There he is sitting down.
and grace will lead me home.
That's Beaver back here behind Hamlet.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we know
That's Beaver
stay
standing next to Squire on Chattanooga Live.
when we first begun.
That's him on the banjo, harmonica, and dobro. And Beaver right there.
Amazing, amazing, that grace was given to me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
That's Beaver right there.
Was blind, but now I see.
I said that was Mississippi Live. It's better in person. I'm sorry about that. There's Beaver right there. Gary Beaver Dillard.
How about that?
What a fine musician. Fine guy.
Back a few years ago, Eileen Hanks wrote a song entitled In My Father's House Are Many Mansions. She sent us a new song a few weeks ago, and I'm going to have Arthur sing it for you. Come here, Arthur. I want to introduce you, son. Just stand right over there. I have known this young man all his life. He is 6'4".
This is a great
He
song.
weighs 135 pounds. Girls, he's not married. If you want somebody so skinny his pajamas just got one stripe in them, he's what you're after. But I've known him since he was just a little old boy. And I didn't never have liked him. Did you ever see a kid that you didn't like? Just when you saw him, you just wanted to grab him and shake him. He didn't have to hit you. He
I
didn't
know
have to
many
step
like
on
that.
your toe. Just the very look of him made me mad. He was one big pimple till he was 20. And when we needed somebody to play the bass and to sing, my boss told me, well, he called me on the telephone. And he said, I've got just the man to play the bass and sing. I said, well, boy, who is it? Who is it? He said, Arthur. I said, click. Then I got to thinking, you know, that I'm not getting any younger. And
They said amen.
the first time he has said amen in 15 years. And it's in the wrong place. But I want you to welcome this young man, like I started to say, call him a boss. And then I called him right back because I knew I was in trouble. He said, what happened to the phone? I said, we got disconnected. I don't know what.
Yeah.
He said, now you take Arthur on one trip. And if he does a good job, hire him to play and sing. My boss said, I like the way he sings. I like the way he plays. And I like him. I said, I don't like him. He said, take him anyway. So we was down in Alabama, an old gymnasium, and the sound just bouncing around. I said, this would be a good time to put Arthur on to sing a song. I told the people, I said, now, if he does a good job on this song, I mean, if he really sings this song and you think the Kingsmen ought to hire him, and he does a good job, we're going to buy him a suit just like ours. I want you to know he sung that song. Them people stood up and cheered and hooped and hollered. Finally got to say,
check it out. Arthur's suit is just like
yeah.
yours.
I said, yes, sir.
He made it.
He said, give him your suit. He sings better than you do. So we hired him right there. Would you welcome Arthur Wright?
That's Gary Miller right next to Arthur there.
I want you to listen to one of the greatest songs we've ever sung, ever recorded. As Arthur Wright sings for you, A Place Where the Hungry Are Fed. Listen. Five loaves and 2 fishes were brought by a child. He broke it and blessed it.
Eldridge and Greg Fox.
And there on the seashore, the supper was spread, the place where the hungry are fed. There were millions before me, but there's no way behind. There's a terrace table, and I know that it's mine. No comes from his table, still I must be led to the place where the hungry are fed. Now there's no need for candles. The Lamb is the light. No sunset, there's no sunrise, for never comes night. All things, oh, they are now ready. The table is spread in a place where the hungry are fed. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. No way.
There's no crumbs from his table. Still I must be led
Arthur doing an Arthur thing. You know you like that. The Kingsman, a place where the hungry are fed. And that was Beaver playing the steel guitar back behind Arthur and the band as they were singing and playing. And we're just paying homage to Gary Beaver Dillard tonight. Haven't got an update since this morning, but it sounded like he was soon to be with Jesus. And that is both sad and very happy at the same time. But remember their family for sure. And we've been looking at the pictorial of 2000 from the NQC. There again is Tony Green and Taranda, as Tony asked Taranda Kaiser at that point to marry him, and she became Taranda Green. And then you've got, let's see, you've got Maurice Templeton there and Andrew Ishii on that picture. And then, as I've been showing you, there is Greg and Eldridge Fox of the Kingsmen, of course. And we played Karen Peck earlier there. There's Karen and Danny Jones and Ricky. And then there's Gazillions there in the Freedom Hall area in Louisville, Kentucky. And so those are the pictures, and that is from September 2013, the Singing News magazine. Of course, Derek Simonis gave us our ministry tonight, so we are about to wrap it up for this evening, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me see who's still with us here. We got Jason Pilot and Amy Lee, and there's Derek. Hey, Brandon Reese. How you doing, Brandon? Featuring your dad there, doing that big bass slide at the end of a place where the hungry are fed. Of course, Brandon's dad is the one and only Hall of Famer, Ray Dean Reese of the Mighty King. Good to see you tonight, Brandon. Dixie Phillips is watching. Hey, Dixie. Oh, what a great songwriter. Dixie Phillips. Great. Don Powell, Brandon Stone, Greg Davis, Jason Dees, Christy. Hey, Christy, Jimmy Hayes, Joy Holden. Hey, Joy. Good to see you. Been working on that other date, that other tracking date. Stay with me. Hard to piece all this together. There's Adam and Angel. I think Adam and Angel are on vacation, so they're probably watching from a hotel room or something. I don't know. But good to see them. Brian, Mike Keller, you kin to Brother Jay Wilburn. He is kin. That was Derek's daddy-in-law. Brian Fusen, and then you got Missy. Hey, Missy. Oh, Louisiana Missy. Get ready to do a record on Chronicle. That's going to be great. Very blessed there. John Morgan, Maston Sr. Jeremiah Hart. If my family kicks me out of the group, I'll call Tammy. Jeremiah, you need to do that. Oh, yeah, man. Faithful Crossings. Good, folks. Good, just good singing, good sound, just all of it. Hey, Isaac, man. Boy, you've been loving your old buddy Les. I've sure been doing a lot of Kingsmen the last few weeks. That's okay. We love the King. Tim Gould, Missouri rocks. Let's see. Love Karen, Joy, Jimmy Hayes, Dan Burns. Hey, folks. There's D. Kent Nelkins. You know who D. Kent Nelkins is? That'd be my daddy-in-law. Good to see you, D. Kent Nelkins. All right. Well, I guess that's about all. Hey, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed what Derek had to say, if you enjoyed the music, would you be so kind as to hit share? I'd appreciate that very much. And don't forget to call 800-360-5051 and tell me who you think is going to win in the category of favorite soloist in this year's Singing News Fan Awards. And the 5 nominees are Mark Bishop, Riley Harrison Clark, Joseph Habedank, Ivan Parker, David Phelps. Who do you think is going to win? 800-360-5051. So as soon as we're off here, go right to your phone and do that. It'll take you 30 seconds. It's free. It's a recorder. It'll pick up, and then give me your name, who you think's going to win, and who do you think maybe they missed? Did they miss somebody? If so, who do you think it was? And put it in there, and you'll be a part of my nationally syndicated radio show Monday through Friday. Speaking of that, all across the country. And by the way, you can go to lesbutlerandfriends.com. And you can click on the Southern Gospel tab, and it'll show you all the markets where I'm on Monday through Friday. I'm on morning drive in some places, afternoon drive in other places, middays in other. I'm on all the time. So it just depends on, as you're traveling, it'll give you the city, the state, and the dial position and the call letter, so you can just keep dialing in. Many of them have streaming apps, and so you can go to those stations and get the streaming apps and watch that. And then in Middle Tennessee, and I still don't have the details. It's coming, I promise you. Look here. Remember this? Used to be Solid Gospel 105. Let the music move you. I was on that for about 20 years, ran it just about that whole time. And had a 104.9 and 105.1. Had it for years, and they went away. And so Middle Tennessee hasn't had a Southern Gospel station for years now, until now. We're back. I'm back. I believe I'll be doing morning drive on this station, and as soon as I can give you all the details. Matter of fact, it's on the air now. They're testing things. So spin the old FM dial, and when you hear some Southern Gospel music, bang, zoom, you're there. But I'll give you all the details as soon as possible. Now, I'm in the studio Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with the Ghouls. Looking forward to that. Don't know when we'll be back, and don't. So I'm the rest of the week's kind of up in the air. I'll be back on Saturday and sometimes Sunday, probably Saturday and Sunday afternoons, Sunday between church services. But and I may be on the rest of the week in the evenings. Just be tuning in and be watching. Watch my Facebook page, and I'll give you that announcement if I'm going to be on that day, and if so, what time. Okay, and then finally, I got that special unspoken request for a friend, and they need prayer tonight. So, would you do that? Unspoken request. Just say Les Butler's friend, and I would greatly appreciate that. Love y'all. God bless you, and we'll see you later.